All right, welcome back. This is part 2 of the story about weaponry and armament. Okay, I had to stop because this isn't Hollywood. We run out of tape. Okay, so here we go. We're at the SLA shootout. Okay, so trying to condense it is officers saw a guy go in with weaponry. People come running out. It's a bank being robbed. 2 guys heavily armed with helmets and Kevlar with AR-15s and loaded to the bear. Put out some help calls. There's a North Hollywood station nearby, police station. Apparently when that call came out, heavily armed men with guns at the Bank of America, everybody rolled out of there. The captain, lieutenant, everybody. There was nobody left the station. I think they had like 1 officer left that was ordered to stay there to man the station. Everybody went. This is for those guys, and I think for me seeing it, this is a once in a lifetime operation here. It's not going to happen all the time. It's like the riots, the SLA shootout. There's a lot of milestones. This was a milestone. Everybody went. They're grabbing guns. They go out. They're grabbing shotguns. Now remember, now shotguns are short-range weapons, maybe 30 yards at the most, and then the bullets start to fade. Okay, so they needed some long reach out and touch someone weaponry. Well, they have 9mm and shotguns. So as those suspects come out, they're exchanging fire with guys with 9mm, and that's like really literally like somebody coming out. And you're basically got a straw, and you're shooting spitballs at them. Okay, that's what it was, because you could see them on the live. We watched it live, and you could see that they're shooting at them. You can see the guys walking, going like this. They're getting like going soft taps. It's not doing anything. Okay, there's an example of basically shooting 9mm, which is 38s, at heavily armed guys that you're not penetrating any armor. And over the radio, you can hear there were several specials that they made out with this particular incident. You hear our police radio saying, shoot headshots, okay? So, very important that things were evolving here. And so, bad is, our guys went to a local gun dealer and had to borrow AR-15s with ammo, and the gun place was nice of them to give them the weapons and say, go out there and stop them. Because, can you imagine the citizenry looking at this, citizens looking, how could these officers not stop these guys? Well, because our chief is not letting us carry better weapons, okay? And it came out, our union kept saying before this shootout that we're undergunned here. We're going to get outgunned if something happens. Here it comes, okay? Big incident. Thank goodness no citizens were killed. And thank goodness for me and my fellow people, there were some officers shot, but none of them were killed. That is a miracle. They said that's why our city is called the City of Angels, because they don't understand how nobody was killed. It's amazing. It's amazing. They fired, I don't know how many rounds, 2,000 or 3,000 rounds. They were shooting rounds at the helicopter. I mean, it was all over the place, okay? Now, in the middle of all this, as we're trying to contain them, and they're walking down the street, they're shooting all over the place, SWAT gets called. And if you saw this on the special, but they're working out at the academy. They're in plain clothes. They shoot like 3 times, 4 times a week, practicing different drills and stuff. And they don't go in their full outfits. They go in civilian clothes and whatever, and it was, so they go out there. Okay. Well, they got called, men with machine guns, North Hollywood. Well, these guys, there's like maybe 30 of them up there. Well, naturally, they jump in their cars and roll. This is what they're paid for. This is what they do, okay? So they're rolling. Well, if you see on the tape, one guy's wearing shorts. He's got shorts, sandals, and a bulletproof vest on because they're just throwing their stuff on because they have no time, like on TV where they have a SWAT band, they get out and they're talking to each other, putting on their equipment. No. It doesn't work that way in real life. Real life, it moves really fast, okay? Get on a side note, the average police shootout, I'm talking about you stop a car, the guy gets out, and you exchange gunfire, okay? The average shootout is about 15 seconds, done, okay? The average shots fired is 4 to 6, done. It's over. You shoot the guy, either he runs, or you shoot him, or he gives up in a matter of under 20 seconds. It's over. That's how fast the shootings are. So you can imagine this North Hollywood shoot went on for I don't know, half an hour? It's unbelievable. Okay, anyway, so they're rolling. And they're broadcasting, they're rolling, the guys are walking away, one guy gets in a white car, the other guy's walking. One guy we lucked out because he was hit, I think, in the hand or something, and he looked around, his friend was gone, so he took his gun out and put it in his mouth and killed himself. Thank goodness. Okay, that saves the taxpayers, saves you millions of dollars to get some sleazy attorney to get him off on some kind of manslaughter charge. Okay, so he's done. Okay, so now they thought they had 2 other suspects. The guy in the white car and another suspect, because the citizens, you guys were calling in saying, got a guy over here, got a guy over here. Okay, fire department's responding because they know they're going to need help, either the citizenry, the officers, or even the suspect. You're going to need after this is over, someone's going to need the paramedics here, obviously. So they're rolling, but they can't go in because I don't think I know a single fire department that will go into a hot zone where there's armed weaponry, active shooter. They will not go in there. They're not armed. It's not their job. Okay, it's our job. Okay, so trying to get off here. I'm talking about SLA. I mean the North Florida shootout, but just get back to weaponry. Okay, so if you see in the video, the guy tries to kidnap tried to hijack a truck, carjack a pickup truck. He's putting his weapons into it. The victim, the citizen, jumped out with a gun pointed to him. Took the keys with him. There you go. Citizen helping out. Unknowingly, he didn't want his truck to be taken, so he took his keys and he ran. Suspect's putting the guns in the car. He sees a police car. He looks inside. There's no keys. He's stuck. Okay. His other car was blown up by cops. Okay. Making short story long, he gets down on the ground. They're shooting. They shoot him in the legs. But what do our SWAT guys have? AR-15s. So one of the guys, I know him, SWAT guy, lays under his police car, laying down, and he's shooting under the car and bouncing rounds off the pavement, trying to get this guy in the legs, and he did. They put a whole bunch of rounds in this guy's legs, at least 8 or 9 rounds into his legs and shins and everything else. Okay, pretty good. Okay, that took him out. Okay, and so now he's laying there. Cops swarm on him. My classmate from the academy, how many years later, 27 years later, whatever, he's holding the guy down because he's trying to move around. He's talking to him, but he's holding him down. He's handcuffed, but you got to hold him down while everybody else takes off looking for that third suspect. And by that time, they had a tank there, our tank with the big nose sticking out. They went down the street, and citizens are pointing. He's in there. They didn't even wait. They just went right through the brick wall with his tank, knocked it down. There was a shed in there. They said he's in the shed. They went in there with that big pole, just knocked the shed over. It's on video. Cops everywhere. Well, he was not in there. There was not a third suspect. Okay, somebody thought there was a third suspect. So, okay. Anyway, so it turns out both families sued the police department in the city, of course. The guy that was on the ground that my classmate detained, they sued because the other guy they sued just because they didn't get an attorney for sue anything. But down here, their claim was that the officers withheld medical care because he was alive. Not this other guy who killed himself in the mouth. This guy was alive. And that we, did not give him medical aid. Well, it came out in the lawsuit that the fire department is not going to go into a hot zone, and we're looking for a third suspect, literally a half a block away. So nothing's going to happen until everything's secured. So you can blame yourself and your buddy for you dying. Okay, pretty much. You can tell that now. He's dead anyway. Okay, so anyway, so now I got on a side note. Now back on the track. So now this happens. News media came out. How could this happen? Worldwide media. How could the best department in the country be outgunned, outshoot, outfought? Well, how embarrassing is that? Okay, and it all goes to the chief. You can defer. Oh, my expert said this. You are in charge. You were fighting this for the last 3 years. That's what our league said. We wanted weaponry, and we hope this doesn't happen again. They couldn't tell them to change the weaponry. They had to just recommend it, saying this could happen again, and it will happen again. Okay, so Mr. Nice Guy with his freaking his unicorn and everything else said okay. So he relented, and we finally got equal weaponry. We got Glocks, we got 45 autos, we got hollow points, we got AR-15s, we got shotguns. Have a slug round. Okay, it's basically it's a piece of lead about this big. Okay, instead of having pellets in the round, it's got a slug. Okay, lead. I don't know how much it weighs, but pretty good sized piece of lead. They jam it in there, and that's what we needed. But they wouldn't let us carry without a supervisor's approval. Okay. Because what's nice about that is your shotgun now becomes a rifle, and you can go up there and aim at that guy with those slugs. You could at least knock them over, maybe even penetrated some of the thinner armor instead of those little. Because that thing comes out Mach 3, man. Figure a slug this size instead of a bullet coming out pretty fast, 2,500 feet per second. It's going to knock somebody down, and you could do it with. You could probably put him down with that thing, not necessarily kill him, but they wouldn't let. We had to have super approval. Well, that went out the window. Okay. All these guns. So now here comes the flood of guns, and it's great because you cannot be outgunned. Okay, so now we all went to Glocks, and I carried a 38 for a long time until I became a supervisor. My guys goaded me into this because I was the only one that carried a gun, a revolver. I'm an old guy, so I thought, okay, reluctantly I went to the academy to get trained because I have to be retrained on an automatic weapon, even though I carried one in Vietnam, but you got to be retrained. And I thought, oh man, I'm gonna spend a lot of money because you had to buy them. The system that was set up that you could carry one, but you had to buy your own. Okay, well that didn't, and it sounds ridiculous. It's going to write off my income tax, but okay, you should be giving me a gun, but whatever. So I said, all right, I'm going to spend $400 for this. And I'm rolling my eyes like, all right, what the heck? I got guns all over the house, all over everywhere. So I bought it. Whew. Loved it. Came really good with it. Like I said, I carried to Vietnam, so it was not basically it was welcome home. same caliber, same setup. No matter what brand you have, whether it's Smith & Wesson or Colt or whatever, Glock, 45 auto, they're all pretty much the same kind of weapon. You load the same, the slide's the same, just a few safety on one side or the other, but it's pretty much the same weapon that's been there since, well, 1911 A1. 1911 was the first 45 Colt auto. 1911, okay, so, and this has changes as, over the years, but, so you're basically firing a weapon that was developed, back in the early 1900s. So, anyways, but great weapon, oh my gosh. I got a long one for longer distance, I got a short one for undercover. I put the 38s away, man. I mean, seriously, this is a really good weapon. Weighs a little bit. The gun's light. The only thing that's metal is the slide and the mechanism. The handle is like a polymer. It's very light, very light. But you put in 11 rounds, in 45 caliber rounds, and that's where the weight comes from. But that's okay, because now instead of having 6 bullets, you got 11. Okay, and instead of having pink, pink, pink on the chest, these are roaring through like Mach 3. Okay, so it's a big difference in carrying the two. And someone asked me here, what do I carry? Why do I carry now off duty, or not off duty, but retired? We're authorized to carry retired. I'm an older guy now. My back sometimes feels funny. So when my back feels funny, I carry a little 38, little Jack Webb, little 2-inch dragnet gun, just for self-protection. I'm not doing police work anymore. This is to protect me, my family, my wife, my friends. That's what it's there for. Okay, I'm not here to stop bank robberies. That's when I was, And then when I feel pretty good, then I'll wear a nice Glock with all the rounds in it. But it doesn't really matter. I'm only there to protect myself now and my wife and my children and friends of mine. That's the only reason why I'm out. When I'm out now, you can attempt to carjack me, you can attempt to rob me, but you better have your wits about you, because the first chance I get, I'm going to blow your head off. Okay? All cops will tell you that. They may not say it, but they all think the same thing. Okay, so, and to continue on, we back up some more. I got more, hope I have time for the continue on with this. The evolution of the bulletproof vests, told you. Mid-70s, plastic. It was Kevlar, but it was plastic line. Ruined my skin. Most everybody else's skin. Then it went to a lighter one. Then it went to a lighter one. And then now we've got, they're pretty light. They wrap around, because we have problems with just being panels like this. And guys would turn, and some officers were injured because the bullet missed the panel and went to the side. One was killed. I think one narcotic officer was paralyzed because he was standing by a door ready to go in. And the guy shot through the door in the frame, and he was standing this way, and he had panels, but the sides were open. And he came through here and paralyzed him, and he died like 25 years later. Sad situation, paralyzed him, but then eventually he succumbed to death. So, but now the ones they have now, they wrap all the way around. They even have a little what they call an impact plate. It's about this big around. It's like 4x6 of some kind of super duper metal. You put it right over the heart. So the bulletproof will because they're doing that for maybe anybody that might have a rifle. But you can't look like like Michelin man. You still have to get out of the car, grab people and run. You can't be running around carrying 30 pounds of armament. You can't do it. It's not going to work. Okay, now when I went to narcotics, same weaponry, same everything. We had these outer vests, which were basically, just tremendous. Just wrap around, shoulders, heavy, all kinds of pockets, impact plate. Police everywhere, and we wore those to do search warrants, because that was where we felt the most danger, and everybody's wearing the same thing. But then once you're done, and you take them off, throw them in a stack, and then you go do your search, and then when you're done, you pick them up like a saddle, and you go back to your car and drive off. So that's the evolution. I'm running out of time, but that's okay. I had plenty of time to explain this. So that's the evolution of the revolver all the way through, armament all the way through, and the results of how we got it, how we got there. The public caused us to have those things, because they appreciated what we were doing and wanted us to be protected. They don't pay us to die. They don't pay us to get hurt. They pay us to protect them. They do any good in a hospital bed or some officer that's passed away to help you. Okay, it's not going to work. Keep us alive so we can keep you guys alive. Okay? Hope you enjoy that. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.